Hi everyone, welcome back to the new video. I hope you guys are doing extremely well. So let's continue with this video. So in this video, we will learn about how we can use the native iOS UI in Compose Multiplatform, right? Kotlin Multiplatform Compose, right? So basically, if suppose we are using the Compose Multiplatform for both frameworks like Android and iOS, or even for more platforms as well, right? So the question is like the UI components that don't look like the native ones, right? For iOS, if you see like alert and all other things in the Compose which we are using, they are not like looking native to the iOS side, right? So how we can do that? How we can use the native iOS components in Compose Multiplatform? So basically, if we don't want to share UI, then it's pretty fine. We can use Jetpack Compose and Swift UI in Android and iOS, right, for native look and feel, right? But just share the business logic. But if we want to share the UI as well, then how we can do that? Suppose this is just a simple app, very simple app. I'm just showing a alert dialog here. So if you can see, I can show you code as well. So this is just a simple alert dialog, right? So these are few things are there on dismiss request. On dismiss request, confirm button, dismiss button, title, text, all other things are there, right? And on the clicking of this button, I'm showing that alert dialog, right? So if you see, this is one state, and depending upon this state, we are showing that alert dialog inside the box, right? So if you see, this is Compose alert, right? I'm pure Compose alert. I'm just printing this text, and this is title Compose alert. This does not look like the native alert for the iOS side, right? So how we can keep using the Compose Multiplatform for sharing the UI, but still we can use some components like with the native look and feel from the iOS side, right? How we can do that? So basically there are two ways. So first one is using the Swift UI. Second one is using the UIKit. So, but we will be discussing about the UIKit one here because Kotlin is not, at the time I'm making this video, Kotlin is not directly interoperable with Swift, right? So that's why it becomes difficult to change the state Swift UI. Suppose we are using any view from the Swift UI and we want to change the state from here and reflect that change state in the Swift side. So that's very difficult. I don't think that's like very easy to do. It's a very challenging thing, right? So that's why, but Swift as Kotlin is completely interoperable with the is Objective-C, right? So we can use the UIKit directly here in the Compose Multiplatform, right? So in the iOS source set, right? In the iOS source set, we can directly use that, and we can use the UI components directly there, right? So that's pretty easy, right? So we'll be continuing with this. So let's continue with that. So suppose this is alert dialog. So we want to keep using this on Android, but for iOS, we want to use separate one, right? How we can do that? So first of all, what we will do is, suppose there is some UI which we want the like native implementation for anything. So which approach we use is basically, so we can continue with the expect actuals, right? So let's create a app alert dialog function here. Okay, so this function will be a composable function, right? And it will be accepting modifier and on dismiss request. It will be just a simple callback, right? Okay. So this request will be triggered. Suppose we want to like dismiss the alert dialog, so then we need this callback, right? Suppose we are dismissing the dialog, and from this dialog we want to notify that change inside the UI where we are using that. For notifying that thing, we will use this callback, right? So let's make it expect right? And now we can add the missing declarations. It's pretty easy now, so you can just specify whatever like missing actual declarations we need to add. It can add that. So for Android main and iOS main, we will need them, right? It will automatically add. Yeah, you can see they have added them automatically, right? So these are the actual implementations. So we will be using now, instead of that compose alert dialog which we are using, we can use that app alert dialog, right? And now we can provide their implementations here. So for Android, it's pretty easy. We can keep using that alert dialog. So we can directly pass modifier comma on dismiss request here. Okay. So that's for the Android side. Now let's come to the iOS side. So basically for iOS side, first of all, we need to create UIKit alert dialog, right? It can be just a simple function. We can make it composable. Okay. And again, it will be accepting these two parameters. I'm creating it separately so that we can reuse it at multiple places as well if needed. It's better to create like functions for these kind of composables. And here we will be using that dialog, right? So now let's come here. How we will be doing that? So how we can use the UIKit UI components inside the compose? So for that, we need to use the UIKit view, right? So inside the UIKit view, we have a lot of methods there. Like factory will be like for creating, like constructing the which UI element we want to use. So it will return that. It will like compose that and return that element, right? And other ones are like, we can specify update if needed, but in our case we will not be using. So update is just triggered whenever this UIKit view will be inflated, whenever it will be shown there. So just at that moment it will be triggered, right? So if you see now, for which it's asking modifier, right? So we can pass that modifier here. So now which parameters it's asking for? Opt-in, and let's specify the modifier as well, which we are getting from here. So this is the recommended approach. For each kind of composable we create, we should like add the modifier parameter and its default value we should specify modifier, and then so that we can control some modifications from outside this component, right, where we are using it, right? Okay, so inside this now what we need to do is, so inside this factory, so first of all let's create the alert, right? For that we will be using the UI alert controller dot alert controller with title, right? So in title we can specify that UIKit, whatever we want to specify here, right? I'm specifying this. And second parameter we can specify message, I am UIKit alert dialog, right? Or maybe, yeah, whatever you want to specify, whatever you want to do, we can specify that, right? In compose UI, right? So now let's first of all remove that warning. So let's just return this, because eventually we will have to return that alert view from here, right? So from the controller we need to use the view, right? It will provide us the view that is attached to this controller. So controller, basically in UIKit we need UI view controllers for each view which we are like presenting. So if you see what it's saying is, yeah, one parameter is missing. So which style we want, right? UI alert, dialog, style alert, right? So multiple styles are there, style, action sheet, alert, right? So we can use the alert. Right? So then what we need to do is we need to create one action. So why we need that action? Basically action with title. So we need that because we on dismissing or on OK button. So suppose we are showing the OK button, right? So for that we need this UI alert action. So this is the button, so we can specify its title, right? Okay, and then yeah, title style, yeah. So in this style, so we can specify UI alert action style default, right? Few other styles are also there, like cancel button default, like for normal, maybe destructive, right? So we can specify default. This is not the cancel button, basically this is the OK option, right? So we can use that one. And then handler. Yep. So in the handler, so what we need to do on clicking OK, what we need to do basically? So we need to dismiss the alert, right? So we can specify this, and then completion we can specify null. So completion is like whenever this will be completed, if we need to do some kind of operation, we can like specify that inside this lambda, right? But as of now we can specify this null, we don't need to do anything, right? And we can trigger on dismiss request as well, right? So that it will make changes according to the UI in the compose here. Suppose these changes will be like update this one, right? So this is the action. Now on this alert, we need to add that action, right? Similarly, we want one more button, like for cancel, we can specify that one as well, right? First of all, let's just check this one. We will add that later. Okay. And then finally need to return the view from that controller. So this will basically return the alert, right? So UI alert from the UIKit, right? So you can see we have complete control over here, right? For this iOS code. But if we would have done this using the Swift UI, that this control will not be there. For that case, what we need to do is basically, so inside this here, from the iOS side, we need to pass the view controller for the views. Suppose if we are using some view from the Swift UI, the Swift file, and so for that we will be returning the UI host controller, right? So that controller will be passing here, and here we will be using that, right? So suppose that any view, if we are using that inside the Swift UI, that might be having some state as well, that with that, right? So updating that state from here is like very difficult. I don't think it is that easy. I don't think it's possible, maybe, but even if it's possible, it's very challenging, I think, right? If you are a very experienced iOS developer, maybe you might find some way about this, and if you have knowledge about KMP as well, then you might find some ways, but otherwise it's very difficult. So that's why we are using the UIKit, right? So it provides us complete control, right? For most of the libraries which are already available by default, but some libraries are still not available in this. So for those, we need to like use the cin drop. So yeah, that part we will not be covering here. Maybe I will be creating some other video on that some other day, right? So this is about this view. So if you see now, this point is done. But one more thing is like where we will be presenting this controller, right? Because as I said, for any view, we will be presenting them by the controller. So for that, we need the root view controller for the iOS app. So for that, UI application, shared application dot k window, we can use this, and then root view controller. So this will provide the root view, the main view controller, right, for the iOS app, right? Inside that view controller, we will be presenting this one, right? So here what we can do is we can present view controller and alert, and then animated view and then completion. On completion, we don't want to do anything. We can specify it none, right? This one, right? So if you see now this is done, and now let's try to run it. Yeah, it's looking cool. If you see, earlier it was the compose alert dialog. So now you can see it's UIKit alert dialog. That's looking nice. So you can see, we can close, we can open. Yeah, right. So now one more thing, maybe we can try the bonus. Okay, suppose if there is one more action, cancel, right? And here we can specify the cancel style. Okay, and we will be dismissing, and this will be same, right? And here we can add one more action, that is the can see now it's looking cool. Okay, so that's all about this. And one more thing, as I said, like at the time I'm making this video, so Kotlin is not completely interpretable with the Swift, right? Swift file. So basically, from the first of all, Swift file get converted to the Objective-C, and then that file is like interpretable with the Kotlin. So, but in the future, we will be getting this very soon, this interoperability. So yeah, then it will become very easier to use the Swift UI views as well, I guess, in the Compose Multiplatform. That's all about this video, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed it, please like, share and comment on it, because this might look like to you like just a 15 or 20 minutes video, but like it involves a lot of effort like in creating these kind of videos, especially with the Kotlin multiplatform guide, right? So if you are liking it, I request you to please like, share and comment on this, and share it more and more. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, please do consider subscribing. That will motivate me to create more videos like this. And I will see you in another video with another cool content. Till then, bye bye, take care, have a great time, keep coding.